The buzz of cicadas will soon take over some parts of our area, but when and where and how, we're not going to answer that for you. We are going to let Dr. Steve Yanoviak, who's a biology professor at UofL,
welcome,
answer all of our questions because he is an expert on bugs.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Well, we're going to settle this great debate.
Okay, I'm happy to help you out.
So this started with the two of us. Jude said, these aren't the 17-year cicadas. And I'm like, yes, they are. It turns out the ones he remembered and these are both 17-year cicadas?
That's true, yes. So
with different schedules.
Exactly, and that's really a great way to explain it because what we have are different broods of 17-year cicadas. And here in Louisville, we happen to be, basically having the good fortune of having two broods that overlap spatially.
The good fortune.
Yes. We get extra cicadas.
We get extra cicadas, this is true, yeah. So what we had a few years ago was brood 10, and what we're going to get this year is brood 14. So they're just completely different broods geographically. We happen to overlap, or we happen to exist where they overlap, and so that's why we get the double whammy.
I grew up in northern Kentucky, so in '87, late '80s, I distinctly remember the cicada craze. And then in 2004, I was up there, and there was the cicada craze. And then here in 2021, it was the 17-year cicada. We talked about it ad nauseum on the news. It was a big deal. And then last year, so many media outlets were reporting on the cicadas are back, and it's like, well, not here. They, last year was not, we were not involved with that.
It was like Western Kentucky, Western
Indiana. Like Illinois, really.
Right. And we have cicadas every year, of course. They're just a different species than these periodic. We call them periodical ones, the ones that come out every 13 or 17 years. But every year we have cicadas emerging, and we just call those annual cicadas. And they actually they spend a long time in the soil, maybe 4 or 5 years in the soil. But we get some of them coming out every year.
So these brood 14s that we're going to be getting, are we talking like the next couple of weeks, or when are they going to come out again?
So the prediction right now is middle of May.
Okay.
And they should hang around until roughly early July.
Well, we have to get the soil temperatures up, right?
That's correct, yes. Yep.
So we need warming.
Soil temperatures around 65 degrees Fahrenheit when they start to
I think these things are amazing because they're harmless.
Exactly.
They're not going to hurt anyone. I mean, they tend to freak a lot of people out with
your shirt or whatever.
He likes to collect them and put them on people.
That I do.
Unsuspecting.
My wife and daughters. It goes perfect right in their hair.
Well, only the males make noise, and it can be quite the spectacle to grab a male with your hands, and your fingers, and then they'll just buzz away in your fingers.
Will Southern Indiana get these also, or is it just really right along the Ohio River?
They're going to be more abundant along the Ohio River, but they are expected to be into Southern Indiana.
Okay.
Also, yeah.
Why do they shed that shell? Exoskeleton?
It is an exoskeleton. They do that because they basically go through a form of what we call simple metamorphosis. So the juvenile stage lives in the soil, and it doesn't want to have wings or things that are going to get in the way of moving through soil and feeding on roots. So when it becomes an adult, it has to fly to find other adults and mate and lay eggs. So it needs wings for that.
Okay.
But you don't want to have wings when you're in the soil, so as they come out, they basically break out of that old shell, the juvenile shell, and their wings unfold, and they can then fly.
It's sort of a sad life because they're in the ground that long, they come out, they do their thing, and then they're dead in what, like a month or so?
Yes. Yeah.
All that time down there.
It is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah.
Are they going to be thick too? Like I can remember a time when they're flying into windows when you're driving down the road.
Off your
Right.
Yeah,
Is it
sidewalks?
similar to 2021 when
It is it's a little hard to predict numbers because we modify the landscape so much as humans. It's hard to say where we've disturbed them, where we haven't. The predictions that I've heard so far are that it will not be as intense as we saw a few years ago, but it depends on where you are. So I can't really make a blanket statement about that.
You bring up a great point because we had recently moved into a new subdivision, so hardly any trees.
Yeah.
And we didn't, I was so bummed out a few years ago because there were like none in our neighborhood. Everyone else is coming in, oh my gosh, look at and we had nothing.
Yeah.
Any more, before we let you go, any more just cicada fun facts you can throw out there for us?
Oh, wow. Well, for an entomologist, events like this are kind of like a total solar eclipse. It's one of these things that you look forward to. It's exciting. There are entomologists who travel around the country following the broods year to year, to see these emergences because it's such an impressive biological event. So I would like people to be excited about it and embrace it.
How will you
afraid.
celebrate? You just go out.
Do you ever eat them?
Yeah, have you eaten a couple?
I have not eaten a cicada. I have eaten many things I'm not proud of, but cicadas are not one of them. So,
And you don't kill bugs in your house. you
generally do not, yes.
Unless it's an
Nothing to
ant
be afraid of.
invasion.
An ant invasion, I will definitely put the kibosh on
The
that.
horsefly too. You said you'll
The
swat 'em away.
horseflies,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
And save the honeybees. We need
Absolutely.
the honeybees.
Yes.
That's like,
Yeah.
That's a
And
big
lightning
deal.
bugs and lots of other things.
Lightning
We
bugs,
need
yes.
them around. Insects are part of our natural world. And we need to keep them around.
Dr. Yanoviak, thank
good
you so
stuff.
much.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
conversation.
It's been a great pleasure.
Interesting.
The answers.